Hello, so today's video is all about will have and probably. So at the moment you can see I'm wearing my scarf, so I'm probably cold. You're not quite sure because you're not in the same room as me. So let's have a look at how will have and probably works. Well, to begin with, you need to be thinking about your English in terms of looking at future tense. And in this video, we'll look at how the sentence structure is made for English and how to use future tense with will have and probably. To begin with, you're thinking about the importance and the definition of future tense. So that's all about actions that are occurring after this present time into the future. So in English, that often means we use auxiliary verbs such as will because we want to show future ideas. Will have, really important because this is demonstrating what you expect to experience. And it means it gives a level of certainty to things that you say about what will happen. So, how to use will have, probably in English, really important to make sure that you follow a number of ideas. So, what's next? Looking at how you use will have in a sentence. So, you know it's about identifying the future. You know it's about stating a level of certainty. But can you use will have accurately? So, will have combines the modal verb will with the base verb have. And this structure, remember, is talking about what you expect to happen in the future. And as I've told you before, when you're using will have, you very often use phrases like by next year, or by tomorrow, or by a certain date, as in by December the 15th. So think about the phrases that you're using. If you use will have, when are you doing it by? So you might say, I will have completed the project by Friday. What does that tell you? The action, the completion, what you expect is in the future. So let's try this one. She will have arrived by noon. So we use the word anticipation. Oh, what might happen? So you're anticipating someone's arrival. You're thinking this is most likely to happen, but you have to have a time. So will have. What's the time? By noon, by next year. So make sure you know how to use will have with the word probably, because we use this a lot in English, don't we? So when you're thinking about probably, let's have a look at what that word probably means. So probably, very important to know, it's an adverb. So when you use this adverb, you're saying it's likely to happen. Oh, I don't know, I'm not certain, but it's likely. So we're using the word probably. So this is an extra bit of information, and it means that it might not happen after all. So when you're looking at probably, remember, it's realistic expectations. Your listener now is thinking about the possibilities in a future event. So when you're thinking about will have probably, You need to understand will have. You need to understand how you use by with a time. And then you need to understand the use of the word probably. So if you've reached this part of the video and you think you know those two ideas, you're ready to start practicing putting them together. So think about sentences when you say will have probably. So will have is followed by the past participle to show something in the future, an action or a state of being. So here's an example. I will have completed the project by next week. Oh, you say that to me sometimes about your homework, don't you? I will have completed the homework by Monday or Wednesday. If you listen to that structure, you've got will have. You're looking at the word by, and you've got that structure of the sentence. But what about if you wanted to add probably? I will probably have completed the project by next week, which is saying to me, it's not definite. I'm going to try really hard, but I'm not quite sure if I will get that done. So probably is modifying the phrase will have, and it's allowing us to have that level of uncertainty. So here's another example. He will probably have arrived by noon. So it's something that's going to happen in the future. It's something you're assuming or expecting to happen. But now you've used that word probably. Oh, less certainty. So let's have a look at this sentence example. I will have probably finished my homework when you call. And when you think about how the phrase is put together, will have, and added to the word probably, when you're thinking about fluent English, you listen to the word probably coming after will have. I will have probably, and when you say that word probably, there's a little change in that sound. I will have probably finished my homework when you call, or by next week. So that word probably is giving a much less level of certainty, so expecting to get it done. And what about if you're level 2 and you're writing far more complex sentences? Well, let's try this one. They will have probably completed the assessment by the deadline, but it may take longer. So here we have is a combination, is things added together, an expectation that it's going to happen. Oh, there might be a delay. It might not happen after all. So make sure you know how to use will have, how to use probably, and how to put together will have probably when you're looking at English. And you're thinking about conversations. Practice the dialogue, practice the conversation. Will have probably, practice saying that when you're talking to other people and see how does that work. So you might say, I will probably have, if you want to, because that's still correct. Just because I say will probably have and I say will have probably doesn't make it any different. They both mean the same thing. So think about what you're intending and what your uncertainty is. So will have probably should be used when you're thinking about expectations or you're making predictions. And your guide to the future, we did it. We'll have probably finished this video. You did finish it. Bye now.